Hey guys, Joseki here, bringing you another audio commentary. Yes, so soon. The audio is copyrighted, 2007 WCReplays.com, so if you steal it, I'm gonna shank your grandma, or something equivocally bad. If you guys get the whatever replay I'm doing, paused 2-minute mark, as usual. And yeah, I'm gonna pick a replay out of my folder in a sec, and we're gonna do it. I've seen every replay in my folder, so I'm not worried. It's just a matter of finding a decent one to do an audio on. Yeah. So lately, I've been playing some ladder. I'm level like 34, 35 or something like that, and it's been fun. I have a replay pack coming out, which I mentioned. You know, just good times, whatever. And yeah, I haven't really been up to too much. I'm moving into my apartment soon, so I mean, I'll be out without internet for like 2, maybe 3 weeks, which is going to be sad time island, but once I get my internet back, I'll be massing all the ladder that I missed in those 2 to 3 weeks. So, yeah. It's no big deal there. I've mostly just been trying to practice with my clan, which is Without Fame Esports, and you know, it's been fun. Haven't really nothing really exciting going on. Our first clan war is Friday versus Come From China CFC, and you know, we'll probably do pretty good in that, so I'm not too worried. Lately, my keyboard, I spilled water in my Razer keyboard, and those things are fucking expensive. I didn't buy it. My mom bought it for me. You know, I probably would have just got like some $30 Dell keyboard, but she bought me this Razer keyboard because I already had a Razer mouse, so she figured, you know, what the hell, I might as well just buy it. And yeah, I had this cup of like water, like a plastic, like one of those beer cups, and I was drinking water and whatever, and I was playing versus this kid who was Pascal 3000's friend, and I was pretty much owning and whatever, and I was just like, I did a tier 3 strat with no expo just so I could work on my staff micro, and I know I'm staffing nights and whatever, and like just playing, and all of a sudden I bump my elbow, spills a full cup of like a full plastic cup of water all up in my Razer keyboard. Like, seriously, it was like the whole thing. You could see the water in between the keys, like in a big lake underneath the keys. So I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? I just like, there's water all over my desk. I like just ripped the keyboard out of my computer, turned it upside down, and just started shaking it like crazy to get all the water out. And then I dried off the top, plugged it back in, and it didn't work. So I was like, fuck, are you serious? I have no money for a new keyboard. I'm fucked. Because I have a Clan War Friday, and yeah, I have homework to do, so it's like, GG. So basically, I took, with my fake electrical engineering degree that I bought online for $20, yeah, JK, I opened up the keyboard, took out all the sensor pads with Q-tips, took me like 2.5 hours. I dried out the entire inside of the keyboard with a hair dryer, and just like, totally freaking secured it. And you know, when I turned it back on, it worked. And right when I got it back on, I got to play a game against Yane, which was kind of a cool comeback to my keyboard working. That was fun. I got raped, by the way, so it's not like I can be like, I beat Yane. It's like, no, I got raped. But I did learn a lot that game because I talked to him after and he gave me some pointers. So yeah, I'm not trying to name drop or anything, but like, basically, playing against really, really good people, like that's a point I just want to emphasize because I haven't covered it in my audios, I don't think. People get really emo when they play versus someone really good. Like, I used to be so emo, guys. Like, fuck. It would be like slash wrists if I lost to someone who was like pro. Like, seriously, it was real bad. I'd be like, wow, fuck this game, I'm quitting tomorrow. Fuck it. Blah! And then I'd just like not play Warcraft for like a day and a half. Like, seriously, it was bad. But like, I used to play versus Marquise a lot when I was in Clan YM, and that's when I played on the West server. And I'd play versus them like 5 or 6 times a day, and I was a total noob. Like, I barely did the human base build right. Like, I did rifles versus like everything. Like, I just tried to copy pros, but it was never copying pros. It was just doing some weird shit that sort of resembled what I should be doing. It wasn't really playing like a good strategy. I was just trying to copy people. It wasn't my own playstyle. So, you know, I'd lose and I'd be like, what the fuck? I just copied Sky and I lost. This game sucks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Sky must get really lucky all the time. You know, God. But yeah, that's what I did, and the fact of the matter is, if you play versus people who are way better than you, you have to you shouldn't expect to lose. You should try to win. You should really believe that you're going to win, because that's the first step in winning any game, is knowing that you're going to win. But when you lose, you shouldn't be all pissed. You should really like get the knowledge out of that person that you just beat. Like when I beat Ian, or not when I beat Ian. I wish, like maybe next lifetime. When Ian beat me after the game, I'm like, hey, when I went to I did a power build, and I went and crap my lab, and he brought his ghouls really early to pressure, and I had never. In ladder, I hadn't played versus undeads who bring their ghouls so early, because usually their ghouls show up while I'm expanding. He brought his ghouls before I had expanded, so I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? He has like 7 ghouls. So like I was really nervous. I panicked. I teched instead of expoing, even though I did a power build and creeped the lab. My tech started 10 seconds before he finished tier 2. I lost the game at that point because I opted to tech. Now, I talked to him, I said, when you have ghouls there, what can I do? And he said, you should just expo anyway, because no matter what, I'm going to kill peasants, whether my DK and ghouls are there or not. And you had 9 foots. 7 ghouls and level 3 and like 2 skellies plus DK can't do much versus level 3 waters, 9 foots and AM. So, next time I know now that if I'm being pressured like that, I should just try to do the expo anyway. And like that's a really important thing that I learned that game. I also learned that if I'm going to be doing a tier 3 strategy without expoing on any map, you only make around 3 foots. You just don't waste your money. But I made like 9 because I had originally anticipated I was expoing, and I cost myself the game because I didn't have enough money for copters. So he destro pushed me, and I had like 5 copters and like a knight and tri-hero with like 5 foots, and I just got owned for frenzied ghouls. And he even went solo DK, like it was kind of rape. But like I know for next time that's what's important. So this has been sort of a long tangent, but when you're playing and you lose to someone who you know is a lot better than you, and you know that is your superior in Warcraft, you should really milk them for all they're worth, like as blunt as that is, and like really try and like find out exactly what you did wrong. So that's a really key element as far as just figuring out exactly what you could have done, what you can't, so that's, I'm just saying that's really important. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to do a couple games. I might even do 3, like if they're really short. I guess I'm going to do Naga tower rushing, because I have a shitload of games of me doing that. I'm looking at my replay folder, and it's like, I have a million. So this first game is versus Mr. Cygnus on Terran Stand. I've matched him in ladder, and yeah, I'm going to get it paused at the 2-minute mark. Naga tower rush is sort of one of those weird things that works, but doesn't feel like it should. And it's like, people who've never seen it before, it's kind of old school. Like, it was invented a long time ago. It used to be used a lot. Like, this sort of, like, it used to be a strategy that was somewhat common, and then it died off. No one's used it for a while. I mean, I've seen very few people use it. I saw TOT Bex use it. I mean, and that versus some elf on TM. And, that's basically the only time I've seen a pro use it in a long time. I guess, aside from SK Hot, or SK Fire D used it versus Hot on SV. Yeah. So, yeah, that's basically the only times I've seen it used, and I would expect Fire D to do it, by the way. He's the tower whore of the human race, basically. Tower rush whore. Anyway, so I'm at the 2-minute mark, and I'm going to go over the build a little bit, and then talk about what I do to do this build. And the reason it works so well is the main reason I did this versus Mr. Cygnus is because I expected DH hunts. I didn't even scout. I knew he was going to go DH hunts. Like, it's Mr. Cygnus, what the fuck. DH hunts,